Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at Masamune-kun's Revenge, episode 8. Now, I'm surprised. Let me tell you something right now. This is the best episode of this whole series so far, to be honest. And I'm surprised that it's actually on a show like this. Because I was like, a lot of the things about this show have been both cliche and also at the same time going against the norms of a harem slash romance story. And what's interesting though is that it's very quick to think right away that this you have this show figured out. Like, oh, you know what's gonna happen next, or you know what they're gonna do. And instead, it keeps pulling this thing on me where I should have realized, even when I go into this episode, that things were not gonna be normal. Because I mean, the episode's titled "It Was Me," which is like your classic breakup line, which is like, oh yeah, it's not you, it's me. But what was interesting about this episode though was the execution of it was so well done. And maybe one part was cliche because I think we kind of were seeing this coming to a point. It reminded me a lot of of Nisekoi. By the way, I'm sorry for my voice cutting in and out, but still getting over this cold. But it reminded me a lot of Nisekoi, where we had that same issue happen in Nisekoi. Now I'm just gonna jump right into what happened though, with whole Masamune and Neko kissed. Yeah, look at that. That was crazy, right? Obviously, if you saw the episode, you knew that was gonna happen. But this when this happened, I was like, excuse me, what? I was so surprised by this happening because it's so rare in a romance story for stuff like this to happen in anything, especially with high school, romance stories. But what was interesting though is how much we see, I think Masamune's past come to light, and that's where really, to me, the bulk of the greatness of this episode came into play, where we get to see how he really feels about how he was when he was a kid. Because so far we've seen, he obviously hated himself when he was a kid because he was fat, etc. But he talks a little bit more about like what he had to go through with trials and tribulations, where people used to hang out with him only because they wanted stuff from him because he was rich, and he felt weak because he was fat. What was interesting though is that Nick was like, I don't care about any of that. That's only one aspect of you, that you're fat. It's all about being healthy, etc. And that's when they got into like a really close moment. But of course, he pushed her away because he thought of Aki right away, and he realized, I think he realizes that his revenge is getting with Aki, but at the same time going against what he should be. Like, instead of hating her, I think he's now just literally going for her and falling in love with her more and more as time goes on. But anyways, he pushes her away, and then they end up going to the whole, pool thing that they were supposed to do, which I thought was kind of, I don't want to say it was unnecessary, but it was pretty good to give a kind of nice lull at the same time to make sure that people didn't like just constantly get berated with stuff with feelings in general with this episode. Because honest to God, that whole kissing, that whole section was just the filter. I almost felt like crying myself with Masamune talking about his past. Like, that was so sad to me because I can relate to some issues on that, definitely. But here's some fan service for you guys and girls. Look, there's some fan service because we didn't get to see Yoshino in a bathing suit last episode. You kind of get to see her there. Of course, Aki rocking the bathing suit from last time. Okay, moving on. Fan service over. So, as they're leaving the park, they get stopped by the assistant to Neko, who talks to them like, "Oh, hey, listen, I can't find Neko. She disappeared. So what did you do, Makabe? Where'd you, I know this is your fault somehow." And she reveals the whole group that he was there by himself with her, etc. in that apartment. But she also reveals something very interesting, which is about how she is sick. Neko's sick. And this was the part where I think it was a little bit like Nisekoi, because Nisekoi had one girl that was always after the main character too, and she was also very sick. So I was like, very similar to Nisekoi there. But I also was thinking that this could be a possibility. I didn't, know for a fact, but I had a feeling that there was something underlying. I always thought maybe she was dying or something like that. But apparently she has very bad seizures, and apparently she's also very ill. So she needs medication constantly, and she didn't take any of those with her when she just disappeared all of a sudden. But we learned that all the things that she's been doing, the way she's acted, all that has been this kind of guise, this disguise in general, where she wants to pull the wool over the sheep's clothing in this case. And it was interesting because I like how they try to like really kind of enforce that. Hey, they show all the scenes from what she's been doing and go like, oh yeah, this is the scene where she was acting like this with Makabe, and this scene right here. But in the whole time, Makabe realizes, oh shit, she really was sick. Wow. But I kind of liked how they did that. I also like how the fact that he goes, yeah, listen, I did go to her house yesterday because I wanted to tell her that I didn't want to be with her. I wanted to be with Aki. And I love Aki's like reaction. You see it just her mouth at the time, but she just has this like gasped face. It was great. But anyways, solid episode. This whole thing, I really love this episode. It was so powerful. I guess I could really relate to Masamune in some ways. I can't relate to him in a whole bunch of ways, but I can relate to him in the whole concept of his past a little bit, and that was very interesting to me. So I really enjoyed that part. But anyways, guys and girls, I will talk to you later because my voice keeps cutting out. So have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.